way yesterday, we had a very interesting conversation in the car. We had more Dhamma discussion today in the car on the way down here than we had for quite a long time, especially with the new regime. So it's been very good. It's very stimulating to talk with Dhamma, because it's the most important thing for us, to hear the Dhamma, talk the Dhamma, and especially to practice the Dhamma. It's the most important thing for us. Without the Dhamma, we are in a right mess. Because if we haven't got the Dhamma, we have no way out. So we're in a right mess. But luckily we do have the Dhamma, we do have the Buddha's teachings. And even if we don't know them very completely or very precisely, we don't need to know a lot actually. We just need to know enough to be able to practice. And then when we practice, we naturally learn the Dhamma. We learn it properly. Because the Dhamma means nature. It means the true nature of things. And if we can see that, if we can see the true nature, then we can see the Dhamma. And we can find our way out of this mess that we're in. But the problem is seeing things clearly. And to see things clearly, we have to have a clear mind. I go on about the precepts quite a lot and about the practice of morality because it's very important. But it's important, it's not. I was talking to students at Warwick University a little while back because it's important for practical reasons. It's not important simply because the Buddha said we should do this, or because some great teacher has said we should refrain from killing or stealing or sexual misconduct or lying or alcohol and drugs. It's not done like in Christianity because we're told to, and it's kind of forced and reinforced in our lives that we must do this. We do it for practical reasons. We do it because if we don't do it, then we're not going to have a mind which is fit and able to see clearly the true nature of things. It's as simple as that. And especially the fifth precept of it, no one really likes very much. And it stops a lot of people from living by the five precepts. At our temple, we have a committee, a temple committee. And I've always insisted that the people on the temple committee are people who live by the five precepts. But I have a terrible time finding people who will do that because of the fifth precept. Everyone, no one minds abstaining from killing. And no one minds abstaining from taking that which is not given. People don't seem to mind very much about the third precept or the fourth precept. It's always the fifth precept, which is the stumbling block. And it's not because I happen to think that drinking is evil or anything like that. But if we are to see clearly, then we've got to have a clear mind. And if you take alcohol and drugs, you won't have a clear mind. It's as simple as that. You won't be in control of your mind. I remember many, many years ago, before becoming a monk, and of course when I was in my early life as an actor, I drank a lot. Actors drink quite heavily, and I used to drink quite heavily from time to time. And then I stopped, and I began to practice meditation, and I began to realize that if I drank and I practiced meditation, the two just didn't mix. In my meditation, I'm trying to make my mind focused and clear, and when I drink, my mind isn't focused and it isn't clear. So it's like I'm driving a car with one foot on the accelerator and the other foot on the brake. It's hopeless. And so, of course, I began to see this. And I like to be sort of in control of my life. And that, of course, is part and parcel of practicing meditation, putting yourself in control of your mind. You can't be in control of your life if you're not in control of your mind. Because everything comes from your mind. So if you want to be in control of your life, You've got to get control of your mind. So I eventually stopped drinking, and I was much more interested in meditation. But of course, sometimes my friends would, try and persuade me. And one night I remember I went to see a film. Someone persuaded me to go and see a film which I didn't much like. It was my one night off that week, because I used to be performing every night, nearly every night, just occasionally maybe a gap. And I went to see this film, which was all right. And to please this person, I had a glass, maybe 2 glasses of wine. My goodness. And I'd been used to drinking a lot previously. But then, a little gap, not drinking, practicing meditation, and I took that wine, and my mind was spinning out of control. And it was a horrible feeling to me. It never happened like that before, but because of course I was practicing meditation, I was beginning to try and pull my mind together and trying to make my mind fit and able to see clearly. And when I took this other stuff, I wasn't like that anymore. And the work I've been doing was all being destroyed, just in those few minutes. I've never touched alcohol since. And I used to be pressured sometimes, even my boss, the most famous actor in the world at the time, Laurence Olivier, had to go up me one day trying to make me drink this punch. He was famous for making punch. And I said no. And he wasn't happy at all. But he respected me for it. And that was very obvious, because very few people, because he was such a big person, ever stood up to him. And when I stood up to him, he respected that. And he was very good to me after that. But I never drank since. And I don't want to, because I want my mind to be clear. It's not because I'm a kind of puritanical, miserable killjoy. It's because I want my mind clear. And I want to encourage people to have clear minds. Because if you can't have a clear mind, you can't create vipassana. You can't bring your mind to wisdom and understanding. And if you can't do that, you can never be free. And you can never be happy. So it's as important as that. The precepts are there to help us to control our behavior so that we have a firm foundation and a clear mind. And when you have a clear mind, then you can begin to see. You see, Buddhism it's not a belief system. I came from Christianity. When I was a boy, I had to go to church every Sunday, at least once on a Sunday. Sometimes I had to go to Sunday school when I was very little. I hated it. I can remember one day I fell over. I hurt myself really quite badly. I was running up the path in the garden and I slipped and fell over. But the great thing was I didn't have to go to church because I hurt my knee. It was terrific. I didn't mind at all hurting myself. But that's it. I had to go. And I had to believe. I was supposed to believe. Every time you go there in the church, they recite the creed. I believe in this, that, and the other. I used to try. I used to really struggle, trying to get my mind to kind of focus and believe. And I didn't really understand what they were on about. So Buddhism is really refreshing, because you don't have to believe anything. It's a technique, a way of opening yourself, opening your minds to seeing the true nature of things. And when you start to see, then of course everything falls into place. And you don't have to believe anything. It's rather you're clearing the cover up. You're letting go of all the conditioning and stuff that clutters your mind. And you're making it sharper and brighter. And then, wherever you look, everything speaks the tongue. And you see the truth. And that's why we have these disciplines. To make your mind sharp and able to see. The people go on about Vipassana. Vipassana is that. And Pochar used to tell us all the time to keep watching ourselves, to watch our minds, and to watch ourselves, not watch other people. It's very tempting to watch other people and see their mistakes and see what they're not doing quite right. And we all do it. We all like to do it. Like that. We have to turn our attention back on ourselves, watch our own minds. And it's amazing what you begin to learn about yourself. Because mind is of paramount importance. Mind precedes all things, they are mind-made. If we speak or act with an impure mind, then suffering follows as the wheel the hoof of the ox. Very important lessons here. Everything about us, our whole world, depends on our mind. So it's very, very important that we keep our minds clear and we keep them fit and we make them work for us. And that's when vipassana insight develops, because that is nothing more than seeing things properly. It's not believing, it's not persuading ourselves, it's not sort of looking at that and saying, anicca, 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 and persuading myself that that is impermanent. Not that. It's looking at that, just watching that until I know it. In the very depths of my being, I understand everything. And your understanding comes from just watching. Now that sounds simple, just watching. But just watching. Do we ever just do anything? No, we don't. You don't just walk along the road. When you walk along the road, I bet most of you are thinking about what you're going to do when you get to where you're going, or worrying about what you've forgotten back there, or your mind is somewhere else. And always that's the case. And everyone walking along out there, I bet their minds are somewhere else. They're not with their walking. They're not just walking. Their minds are somewhere else. This is a problem for all of us. And we're eating. How much of your mind is with your eating, or chatting to someone, or thinking about something, or dreaming, or wondering what you'll do later, or maybe I could have cooked it better. Your mind will be all over the place, but not with simply eating, just eating. And this is a problem. So this is something that we have to try and combat when we practice, and practicing meditation combats that. It begins to make our minds better able to be focused and to just be with what we're doing. Because you see, we can only really be aware of one thing at a time. We think we're drinking and we're thinking and we're doing this. We think we're doing all these things together. But actually our attention is just nipping back and forth very, very fast. From that to that to that to that. So fast that we can't see. It's like when you project pictures at speed on the screen, it looks as though those people are moving. There's lots and lots of pictures run at speed. And it gives an illusion. And the same thing with our minds. Our minds are moving at speed and they create an illusion. And that illusion we begin to believe. And that illusion takes us over. And of course it's a big mistake. And the more things you try to do together at the same time, the more confused you will become. And that's when people have mental breakdowns and get stressed and all that sort of thing, because they're trying to do too much together. If you slow down, you do one thing at a time, do it properly, then life becomes much better. So it's important for your everyday welfare and happiness that you try to do that. Just one thing at a time. Take your time, one thing at a time. That, of course, helps you to develop and sharpen your mind, so that then you are able to watch yourself well and you're able to see things as they really are. And that's where our practice must be taking us. And all the disciplines we have, disciplines as a monk, 5 precepts. This is my voice now. All these things are all part of this program to help us to be more efficient and better able to see and understand the true nature of things. They're all part of a training package. And they combat what we call kilesa or killing. And so that's what we do. That's what we're trying to do. And keeping and watching ourselves enables us to see and know the true nature of things. So this was the sort of thing we were talking about in the car. And the other day when I talked to the Warwick students, it was about this business of practicing morality. Because it gives you a firm foundation. It is not, when I was young, and when I was younger, when I was a boy, and I had to follow what the priest said, then it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I was, in the 1960s, we rebelled very strongly against the morality at the time, because it all seemed about what you shouldn't do. And it seemed very repressive and very angry and very horrible, really. And it prevented you from developing yourself and expressing yourself. That's at least how we felt it. And so we rebelled against it and did our best to throw it away. And many people, I think, to this day, think of morality in those negative terms. And actually, it's a great liberation. And it leads you to be able to develop your minds in such a way that you can see and know things properly. So it's very practical. It's all very practical. And the morality of Buddhism, of course, is amazingly reasonable. To basically do unto others as you would have them do to you. I don't want people to hurt me. I don't want people to speak badly about me. I don't want people to gossip about me. I don't want people to come and beat me or kill me or any of these things. I'm sure most people here feel the same. So then why should we even think about doing those things to other people? But I'm afraid people do. They kill each other. They gossip about each other. They steal from each other. But no one really likes it when it's done to them. Many years ago in one of the prisons, there was a chap I knew. I don't know what he was in prison for, but some kind of burglary. And one day, when I went into the prison, he came to me and he said, someone's just been in my cell and stolen something from me. And I just feel so upset and angry about it. And I suppose the people I stole from probably thought the same way about me, what I'd done. He didn't realise. And when he realised how people felt, how he felt when people stole from him, he stopped. He never went back to crime. But we don't, people don't think things through. And a lot of sort of so-called morality is not about doing to other people what you would like them to do to you. It's about, I can do that to them, or they're bad people, or whatever, so I'll hurt them, or they're a different nationality or different race or something, so I can hurt them, so I can steal from them. But that's no good. That's not what life is about, really. So the morality of Buddhism is much better than that. It's about really thinking. And many times in Dhamma Talks, the Buddha is saying, he says things like, if you don't want people to beat you, then don't beat them. You don't want to be killed, nor does any animal or creature want to be killed. So think, put yourself in their shoes. And will you do that? Then you live a reasonable, decent life. And you have nothing to hurt yourself with. You don't have any remorse. You don't think later on, I wish I hadn't done that. Because you've done nothing that's bad. So when you practice meditation, your mind isn't disturbed by thoughts of, oh my goodness, is he going to get me if I, or anything like that. and with your mind not disturbed by thoughts of remorse and fear and worry and doubt, then you can practice. You can have a much better chance of bringing your mind to stillness and sharpness.